What's up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. I just wanted to sit down with you guys and talk to you about who I am and why I've decided to get on here and make a YouTube channel. Well, while I sit here and tell you about my life, I'm going to do my makeup. So when I was about 16, no, I want to say 15, I met the love of my life. And we started dating. And as time went by, I was about 17. And we had our first daughter. Our first child. Well, we were happy, and I know we were young and everything, but I was so happy because, growing up, I wasn't given the chance to have a good childhood. I wasn't given a chance to do things the way a child is supposed to do. Like going to school. My mother was too sick and too she was too sick, and she worked as a CNA and ended up hurting her back pretty bad. Well, so my mom really couldn't give us her best, so I say. Well, so with that being said, I wanted to give my future kids the best that they deserved. So when I found out I was pregnant with my daughter, I was happy because I found out that I grew to love her being pregnant. I just grew to love her, and I grew to realize that, I'm always going to be here for her. I want to do things the right way, Anyway, I'm not saying getting pregnant at 17 is what you're supposed to do, but it's what happened to me, and I'm just telling you guys my story. So, when I got pregnant, from the first month to the 5th month, I was super excited, and I was just loving my baby. When I had my first ultrasound, I went home and did whatever I did that day. I don't know. I think it was just hanging around the house and hanging around my mom and my brother and, my boyfriend at the time, which is my husband now. And then I got a call from a doctor stating that there was an alert on her heart. And so I was told to come back the next day to do another ultrasound, and I went. And so at that point, when I found that out, I was super scared because I didn't know what I was getting myself into. I was only 17. I was this little in a big old world, And I mean that. When you're 17, you are just little, compared to this big world that's out there. You don't understand what is really out there. What could really potentially hurt you or not hurt you, or whatever's going on in the world, So then we went in for the ultrasound, and we got the ultrasound done. And they said, oh, it's going to be a couple weeks until you get the results back. So that first couple weeks, oh boy, that was torture. Because I was like, is my baby okay? Like, I don't know. So then finally, I went in for the doctor's appointment to get the results, and come to find out, my daughter had something called, she had a congenital heart defect. And for those of you that don't know what that is, it's just something that when they're inside your uterus, it just doesn't develop correctly. And it's nothing that you did. It's just something that just didn't happen correctly. So as time went by, I had to go to doctor's appointments, which was like 2 hours away. I had to figure out like what kind of surgery she need, like what kind of hospital stays it's gonna be. It was a lot. And you know, I don't know what I would have done without my husband or my grandma at the time or my mom. So when you have stuff like this going on, it's like, you know, if you know somebody that has a baby or a kid with a lot of defects or like autism or anything that's going on with their child, be there for them. It doesn't matter what it is. Give them a call. See how they're doing. It's important, because when you're going through something like this and you don't have a lot of support, it's not good. And you know, mamas like me love when you have friends around, when you have a mom and a dad. And what if you don't have a mom and a dad? You know, you rely on your friends. So that's where my grandma and my husband and my mom kind of played a, you know, little big part in it. Well, so as time went by, we went to all these doctor's appointments, and I had went to the last doctor's appointment, and they told me, okay, you're about to be, you know, ready to give birth, and we have to make a plan. I said, okay. So what ended up happening was the children's hospital where we were, said that we will have to get induced. And so that was the plan. Like, I have to get induced, because if I were to go into labor, the children's hospital that actually does the heart surgeries, they're actually 2 hours away. So I can't drive 2 hours away if I go into labor. So what ended up happening was we scheduled it for September 30th, 2008. And I was at my grandma's. And, well, okay, so let me rewind a little bit. So at the doctor's appointment, they told me that Ayana has this congenital heart defect, that she will need surgery right when I give birth. And she will be like, most births you give birth and then they put the baby on you. That did not happen. Like, they said that they were going to, right when I push her out, she was going to go through this little tube, and they were going to take her straight to the NICU, because they didn't know what they were going to get there, what like they knew what they were getting themselves into, right? Because we're talking about like specialists and stuff, so they know what they're talking about. But you know, when a baby actually comes out, sorry about that, the water company came by. Anyway, what I was saying was when the baby actually is born, they don't know exactly what is going to happen in that moment, so they can't really leave the baby on my chest, and they have to take the baby straight to NICU. And so that's what they were planning. Also, the doctor said that she's going to be needing like 3 open heart surgeries at this point. He stated that she had a double outlet right ventricle with the interrupted aorta. So what that means is her 2 left ventricles weren't working. So they had to merge both of those ventricles into one, and then they had to put a stent from her heart to her lungs so that she can have some type of blood flow in her heart. And so she did, it wasn't like normal like blood flow like me and you have, like a normal like a person with a normal heart, but she has a normal blood flow for her heart defect. So anyways, September, I think it was like 10th rolled around, and I was at my grandma's. Me and my husband were at my grandma's, and I was going into labor. Like not real like active labor, but it was like it was there, it was coming. And mind you, we're 2 hours away. So I told my grandma, and I'm like, listen, I'm having cramps. I think something's wrong. And so mind you, our due date is the September 30th, and that day was the 10th of September. So we went to so my grandma took me to the hospital, and they checked me, and they said, yeah, you were like 2.5 centimeters dilated. Like, we need to take you to the ambulance, take you to the children's hospital that, you know, that we were planning to give birth at. So we went there, and they took us in an ambulance, and it took us like 2 hours to get there. And they checked me, and at that point I was 3 centimeters dilated, and so they decided they were going to induce me. No joke, that whole process took 6 days. Because the Pitocin, the way it was, they gave me too much Pitocin, and my body was like, girl, we ain't doing this. So then we ended up, they ended up giving me, I think it was adrenaline, and they stopped it because my contractions were so intense, but they weren't doing anything, that it was like compressing on Iona's heart. So they had to give me adrenaline, and I did not like that. Like, that was scary. And the next day they ended up saying, okay, we're going to let her rest tonight, and then tomorrow we're going to start off little by little, like 2, 4, 6, like little by little doses. And then they, you know, did this thing where they stuck the tampon, or it was like a tampon, but it you know, put you into labor, like not like fast, not super fast, but at a normal rate. So So the next day came, and that's what happened. That's what they did. That ended up working, and I ended up going into labor, and my water ended up popping, I think at 7 centimeters. My water popped, and I literally was in labor for 16 hours, and then I pushed her out in 3 pushes. She came out, and she ended up going to, she ended up, like they said, they took her out, and they put her through this little tube through like a window, and there was a window in between, but then there was this like tube that separated the window to the other side where the other doctors had gloves on, sterile gloves, and they were like waiting for her. Just to do all these tests and put her on these monitors, and it was like crazy. So they did all these tests, and it was like 7 days later, she had her first heart surgery. That took 8 hours, I believe. That was the longest. Oh man. I'm telling you, any moms out there that are going through surgery with their children, it's scary. Like, I'm here, like I hear you, I see, I've been through it. Like, I get you. I understand how you're feeling. Like, it's scary, and nobody know, unless you have been through something like this with your own child, and you're just giving your baby up, not knowing if she's going to be or he's going to be okay. It's the most scariest feeling I feel like I've ever gone through. And so anybody out there that hears my story and it's going through something similar, listen, I'm here. If you ever need anybody to talk to, I'm here. Like, I've been through it. Like, my daughter had to be in the hospital, like, for so much. And it's a lot. And it's not just after the fact. It's a constant worry. Is this baby going to be okay? It's a constant, if this baby gets a cold, this baby will go to the hospital. So, I understand. I understand your worry. I worry. And my daughter is now 13 and she's doing amazing. But I still worry. Because she's not only had that one surgery, but she's had 2 more. 3 more, technically. And they're long hospital stays. It affects everything in your life. I'm telling you, anybody out there that hears me, and I was young. I was 18 when I had her. So I don't know who needs to hear this or what what person needs to hear this, but girl, like, I'm here for you. Like, I've been through it. I have other stories too that I'm gonna be posting on here. That it's not just it's tough when you grow up in a hard childhood, and then you have to deal with that, and that is so, and to grow up from something like that to wanting to love this baby so much because you know how it feels not to be loved like that, and then to find out that your baby has something that is wrong and that could be taken from you. It's hard. But know that it's okay. It is, I promise. There's always, it's always going to be okay, no matter what. I'm telling you, my daughter's 13 now. And it was a lot. But she is a straight A student. She excels in everything that she does. She's an amazing little girl. And I can't be more proud to say that I'm her mom. Because without her, I wouldn't be the person I am today. And even though, all that happened, it happened for a reason. And that's sad to say. It's hard to say. But I know this. God would have never placed my daughter in my arms if he didn't know that I would take care of her. He knew. He knew I was the perfect one for her. So that is why I am, and it made me strong. It made me really, really strong to be her mother. I am, when somebody says, "Who are you?" And I'm always struggling to say, well, I'm a mom, I'm a wife, but I'm a really good mom. I can say that. I'm a good mom. My kids have straight A's. They eat. They're very well taken care of. They have great family. Listen, y'all can do it, okay? I'm rooting for you. I am rooting for you, and my daughter is the strongest little girl that I've ever known. The strongest. Things that she's went through, she makes me look like a baby. But she has shown me who I can be. And she has made me as strong as I am today. So, the point of me making this video today is just to let you guys know that if you guys have children that have any type of disability or any surgeries that they need, or anything, you can do it. I believe in you. I wholeheartedly believe in every single one of you. You can do it. It is hard. I've been through the ringer. I was young. But you that are watching are strong. And your babies are watching you. And if I can touch anybody's heart, that would mean the world to me. Because my story, there's so many stories out here like that. But I've never told everybody my story. My story is very, very unique. There's more to me that you guys don't know. But I'm going to hop on here and give you guys another story time and tell you guys more about me and more about my life. I just wanted to hop on here and tell all the moms and all the dads and everybody that is going through something similar, you are okay, and it will be okay. Remember, take it day by day, minute by minute. And remember, everything is temporary. Nothing is permanent. It will change. Your babies are going to be healthy. They're going to get better. I'm telling you. I promise. Things are going to get better. Okay, guys? Until next time. My name is Angela. And I'm just a mom. And if you want to know more about my life and about my story, then hit that like button and hit that subscribe button, because there will be plenty more coming. Okay? Have an amazing holiday. Have an amazing day. And enjoy your babies.